Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. And I am starting to get my voice back, so we'll make it a short show tonight for real. That way I can get my voice back. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. How is everybody tonight? And it was a pretty green day today, I must say. So let's go ahead and look at it, and we'll get cruising. I have a few that I wrote down that I wanted to look at. Let me know what you guys want to look at, and we'll go through and check out everything, and we'll call it an earlier night. That way my voice can rest up because I'm starting to get it back. So here we go. That was what the heat map looked like, and it was not looking bad. Apple was actually surprisingly down. I don't even know how that was down because that one looked so good. It was up a little in the after hours, but it did pull back, and I expect that one to start moving there. And the rest of the Mag 7 were up as well. The SPY was up, and remember we were talking about that 610 area, and it's starting to get there. So there you go with that one. Remember TSM, I did say it was going to hit that 220, did I not? And there you go. There it is today. So there's a couple good ones that we mentioned, and they did hit it. And how about this Nectar right here, NKTR? We looked at it last night, and this thing was running up pretty big today. And there you go, 1420 to 2768. It's at 2610 right there. That was some sweet nectar, and I said it last night. And there you go at 100% popper right there. So that's a big guy. And OMND was up, or ONMD was up today, and YAAS. And of course, Inovia, that one's been running around, and there is MFI was running up a little bit more, but yeah, we had some pretty good ones. This TRIB looks pretty good. It was running up there today. And let's see what the news was. Oil prices edge higher as investors assess the Iran-Israeli ceasefire, and Wall Street bull calls for another 10% rally in S&P 500 by the end of 2025. Powell says higher inflation outlook keeping Fed on hold for now. Again, does this even make sense? It says higher inflation outlook, keeping Fed on hold for now. What happened before the election and during the Biden administration? Why they were lowering the rates like crazy? And you're not going to say that the market's not better now than it was then. I mean, there's no argument, guys. I promise you, it's a political move at this point. There is no argument. That statement right there is nonsense. I would love to give him an argument with that one. I mean, Jesus, can we have Powell on our show? I got to request that. This fucking is crazy. I mean, are you kidding me? Inflation outlook keeping the Fed on hold. What are you talking about? The inflation out. Are they insane? So basically what you're saying is you just want to screw the American people because you want to be political. That's what it sounds like to me, guys. And yeah, that's exactly what's going on. There is no other answer. I'm telling you right now. There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. I've looked into it so much that literally I know I'm 100% right. There is nothing. It's political. And the oil slide, stocks gain after Trump brokers that truce after Iran did fire a missile into Israel. I think they even hit a building or something. Anyway, S&P 500 futures are little changed as index nears all-time highs. Okay, so it's all-time highs, and they just had a war, and it just got ended like that. The inflation's been going down. But now, but Powell says the higher inflation outlook is keeping the Fed on hold. Now, does that not sound like BS to everybody else? Because it sounds like it to me. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, here we go. I have a few that we're going to just run through. Luis Rodriguez put a bunch up there. Today was a good day, I must say. It did go green right there, and it was looking good. As a matter of fact, here, let's look at this first. Let's look at our SPY. Look at that thing. It's about to hit that 610 like I've been talking about. How long have I been talking about it? For a couple weeks now, saying it's going to get up there. Apple pulled back a little bit. And again, trying to get set up. It's not looking bad. It was down lower the other day. And again, it is getting set up right there. Amazon, let's look at Amazon because that looks pretty good right there. So keep an eye on Amazon. That's trying to curl back up. Let's see if it can run off to 20. I don't know if they'll get through again. there is a dip coming. It's just that these things are just running all the like just keep running up as it's pretty wild, and we expected them to get to the all-time highs, but then I do think they're going to be pulling back. So it is right around that spot right there. They've been bouncing around, so you do have to be careful with them. But there are plenty of poppers, and Powell is full of it. I have to say that too, Luis Rodriguez. I don't get it, and I would love to argue with him. I mean, there is just no argument whatsoever. And I don't care if you're the Fed chair or whatever you're doing. Please come educate me. I would love to hear this argument, because there is no argument there. I can promise you. Anyway, let's keep on rolling here. And Meta right here, META. Look at that thing blasting off and running back up. And these things are looking pretty good as of now. And they're looking pretty good to hit these RSI or MACD lines tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting. And it does look like this market wants to run it back up into the top again. So pretty wild right there. And that Microsoft, if I spelled it right, that was up even more today. So it looked like it wanted to pull back yesterday, and then all you know is bam, they turned around immediately, and then they just started rocking and rolling. Ceasefire was called, even though Iran even fired a missile in there. Trump was cursing on TV, and then Israel didn't even retaliate. So who knows what's going on, guys? But it is a wild market, and these things are continuing to run up, which is amazing here. So I'm telling you, it's something else. And at the same time, you have the Fed saying that the market is not looking good, I guess, and inflation's too high. I mean, holy cow, can you imagine? But yeah, at this time, right around here, they were deciding that they were going to lower the rates. Look at the difference in the market conditions, guys. I mean, it's not even close when Biden was in there until now. It's completely insane. And so to say that you're not lowering rates, I mean, it's just completely bonkers right there. So again, what they're doing is doing the American people a disservice, because they need to refinance all this money that they borrowed in COVID. And if they don't get to refinance it at a cheaper rate, then we're pretty much screwed. Then you know who's going to pay for it? The people that work, and the American people like us, tax-paying citizens. That's who's going to end up paying for it all. So at the end of the day, he's just screwing us just like they always do. So just know what's going on. Just like I went on that rant last night and told you exactly why the prices won't come down. And it was exactly why the prices won't come down. And this is nonsense too. So I'm just telling you what's going on in our country. It's wild, but that is what's happening. I mean, I look at it very closely every day, and I can see easily what's going on. Tesla, let it pull back. You might even, I mean, I don't even think it's going to stop at the 20. It could. We'll look at it tomorrow, see. It does. And again, look, hitting the MACD and kind of pulling back there. It does have a little setup period. You may even see it back down into the threes, but I would really watch for a dip there. And keep your eye on it to really see if it does. And again, we're watching these things as the SPY hits that all-time high at that 610 area. We're going to see what they want to do. Do they want to keep running, or do they want to bounce down? I have an inkling that they want to pull back, but they can still run up a little bit more. So obviously we'll be keeping an eye on them. That's for sure. You know that. And let's go ahead and look at the rest of them. And again, that was our Tesla right there. And let's look at AMC. We'll do it a little backwards. We'll do our SPY big caps and everything first, and I'll go through and see what you guys want to see and all that good stuff. We'll cover everything, and we'll get off the air earlier than we have been. But AMC right here just kind of pulling back and sitting there. It looked like yesterday was a bottom, and it's trying to set up, just waiting for the 20 to come down, probably to pick it back up right there. So that could, what's GE up to? That one's just getting set up, but also the same situation where it's going to roll off or roll down, and they are under the MACD. So when they hit it, they like to bounce down. GameStop has a lot of time to set up. So another one, yes, it run up as it's curling up? Yes, it will, but will it get through that MACD? I don't think so at the moment. So you will see it pull back. So I don't think it's just ready yet. And here is that Chewy. Now, Chewy does look pretty good right there. So you can watch for Chewy to try to run. I do like what Chewy looks like. So CHWI, not looking bad right there. And let's look at our Netflix, and I'll take a look at Unity too. But Netflix was running up. I took a look at that. that today. I looked at all of them, but Netflix I knew was running up, and it is almost in that 1280s. Look at that thing. It did, and it got up there 1282. I didn't even know it ran up that high. But look at that thing. We were saying it was getting set up again the other day, and it certainly is. And we'll go back to Unity. That didn't look too bad today. And another one trying to curl up, but will it get through is the question here, trying to bounce off that 20. So we'll see if it can get up there. And let's take a look at our semiconductors, AVGO, and look at this guy running up and trying to get back into the top. I mean, these things are wild, guys. Can you imagine this is running up there $10 today? It is crazy, and it is trying to curl up, and we'll see, like I said, if they can get through. But MU does not look bad. It does look like it wants to try to continue its way up here. So look at MU. When are the earnings? Are they tomorrow, right? The 25th is tomorrow. So there you go. I remember we said that the other day. And TSM, who said that was going to 220 right there. And bam, there you go. And now we'll have to see what it really wants to do, because we did know it was going to go there. I did say it. Luis Rodriguez did say target and sent me a message. And TSM, I would say, was right on target. Hitting that resistance, though, guys. So it does look pretty good to try to run up. I would say we have to be careful in the morning, and we'll look at it. But obviously, you shouldn't be chasing it. We should already have been in it, because we knew it was running up, and it's been running up there. So that is your TSM right there. And how about SMCI? That one was running up and looks like it might try to keep some momentum. It is underneath the MACD right there and bouncing down. So again, I don't know if these things are really ready to run fully, but they're not looking too bad to try to curl up, and then they're bouncing off that MACD, coming back down. You know, we like them when they're up and over the MACD and roll off. AMD, we were all over this, guys, and we were super early on AMD. And there you go. Look at that thing running up there today, and looks like it's going to be a monster for tomorrow. So keep an eye on AMD right there. And of course, QCOM, we mentioned that one as well. And that one was looking good. So there you go with QCOM, AMC. Intel right here was running up. I did see that. And that appears like it wants to run up a little bit more. So you might want to keep an eye on INTC tomorrow. That is not looking bad right there. And how about good old PayPal? And we'll see what PayPal's doing right here. And that had jumped up $1.57, crawling up. And again, I'm not so sure they're getting through, but they do look pretty good to run up and hit them MACDs and get some more movement out of them. And Snow's been running up like a maniac. We talked about it last night. And look at that thing. It's just been a complete monster up there. And how about Dell? That's been running up like a monster as well. And Palantir right here, and that's going back up to its all-time highs, because it's going to hit that 144. We said it last night. And there you go with Palantir. And here is your Sophie report, and that was setting up, and it was up today. And Mara and Riot were setting up, and they look pretty good today as well. And there you go. They were moving along, and even that Clean Spark has been looking good. And that was up, and look at that thing running. And Coinbase was up because that was looking good. And look at Hood right here, and that was running. So like we said last night, we didn't think that the conflict was really affecting the market too much, and these things were just running like crazy again. DJT getting set up right there, and look at Fun trying to get blasting off, so that could be Fun very soon. And your Mountain is pulling back, but just to set up right there. And how about McDonald's running up some more, just as we thought it would. And how about Boeing's been pulling back a little bit. I don't know. Boeing had that huge run. Let it get set up. I think you might have a little more pullback on Boeing. Space right here, just dipping around, running around, not doing a whole lot right there. And it wasn't today. IBM continues to run up like a monster. And Disney is going back up right there. So be careful, Luis Rodriguez, with them puts. And Oxy right there has been dipping down, and ExxonMobil as well, after oil was going crazy the other day. And now all of a sudden that stopped. And Nike right here is up a little bit, hitting some resistance. So I don't know if it's getting through that. And DXYZ not looking too bad right there, trying to curl up. I'm not sure if it's really ready to get through, but we'll look at it tomorrow to see, as it's at 20 and probably will bounce down right there. And there are your big caps, Mag 7 and them guys. And here we go. I will go through a couple that I had written down, and then I'll go through and see. Luis Rodriguez posted a bunch. You guys can post some more. We'll go through and we'll see what the market looks like. We'll call it an early night since, like I said, I'm starting to get my voice back, and I was trying to rest it up today, and I was, oh my goodness, it is so hot in New Jersey. We were talking about it. Luis Rodriguez, I know he knows, he's around this way, and we hit 101 today. We broke a record, and with the humidity, I'm telling you, it was like, I'll say it was like twice as hot as it was out in Vegas. I was perfectly fine in 110-degree heat in Vegas in that dry heat, and 101 temperature and humidity on top of it. It felt like it was like 108 or something. Not even as high as Vegas, but holy cow, you can't breathe. You can't do anything. You walk outside, you're just sweating through shirts. It's insane, guys. And yeah, it was completely insane. And I was trying to get that air conditioner, the thing hooked up. And you know what it is? The things are made, the portable air conditioners are basically made to vent out a window. That's how they send you with the kit, and I'm venting it out the side of the wall, and I thought they were just a round 4-inch tube or hose right there. And of course this thing has like this crazy connection that snaps on, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I'm over here fabricating shit to work, and I finally got it figured out. It took a 2-day project. It definitely shouldn't take this long to do this thing, but I finally got it figured out. And so yeah, tomorrow morning I can wrap it up real quick because I was just messing with it up until I was doing the show. I'm telling you, I was wasting time, not wasting time, just trying different things, trying to get it right. And I'll tell you what the issue is. I didn't realize these things spit out so much hot air. Holy cow, this thing. And I don't know. The other thing is, I just plugged it in for the first time on like the hottest day ever. So I'm not sure if it's like just because today is like incredibly hot or if this thing like spits out hot air like that. But I had it piped in through like metal, like I was doing duct work, and I had it all nice. And then I hooked this thing up, and holy cow, it got so hot. I thought it was going to burn down the shed. I'm not even kidding, because I have that paneling up and I touched the paneling. It like burnt my hand. I was like, that's not good. So I turned that bad boy off and unplugged it real quick. And I was like, holy shit, I can't do that. So yeah, the metal had gotten so hot through that I had run it through the middle of the tube. I mean, you're talking like 4 inches that I've run it through the middle of the where it connects to the outside. And yeah, holy cow, it like was incredibly hot. So then I changed it all up, and then I wrapped it up with the some kind of like duck stuff, and then the special tape that you use, and then all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, it was just like trying to figure out like a puzzle today in that heat. And I was trying to get this thing working so I can put my computer out there. I got everything ready, and I just got to be able to have the temperature right, because I can't put it out in that temperature. Holy cow, it's way too hot. But yeah, so tomorrow I plan on putting the computer and everything out there and getting ready to crush the market. So that's the update with that. And I definitely took a longer day or so doing the stupid exhaust thing than I wanted to do. I could tell you that, especially in this heat. It is brutal out there. So I hope everybody's staying safe, because I know New Jersey is not the only place that's completely out of control hot with humidity. So be sure to stay hydrated. It is wild out there. Anyway, let's go through and see what Luis Rodriguez has for us, and we'll go through and see what else is going on in the market. But that is your update and what's going on. So yeah, those of you, I know a few other people had signed up for the Discord, and anyone has any questions, and like I said, if you're not quite sure when you sign up how to get it on there, you just have to just hit me up, but you have to link the two accounts, and it's easy. But if you don't know what you have to do, it's not exactly easy for you. So if you ask me, I'll definitely walk you right through it, and that'll be a piece of cake. So anyone has questions with that, and I know Ben's been on there, Godfather, and they've been doing completely very well, and I'm about to join them, and we're gonna crush the market, guys. So here we go. It's ready, and I was trying to get it all ready today, so I'd be out there tomorrow and we can get this thing going, because I've been trying to make some trades here and trying to keep an eye on the market and do this, and it's just been markets running all over the place, and I'm trying to run all over the place to get this finished up. So here we go. That's what's happening, and let's see what's happening in our market. And again, that Nectar ran up. We were looking at it last night. Here's a couple other ones that I was just kept an eye on. And that big bear, we were talking about that last night, and boom, that one popped up. It was looking good. Altimmune, remember we were looking at this thing. That thing looks like it wants to curl back up. So keep an eye on Altimmune right here, ALT. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. How about QuantumScape? And that thing was running up. I know we've looked at that a few times before, and good old QS QuantumScape right there. And it ran up in the after hours, as you can see. I saw it running up in the after hours there. So there you go. It's at 572. Probably going to be a good one to keep an eye on tomorrow morning. So keep an eye on that QS. And let's see what else is going on here. And let's look at that circle real quick. It was down a lot today. Not much data on it, but it does look like it could be pulling back. We'll see if the candles do want to swing back around. And again, no RSI or MACD on that to really look at it. So we're relying on what the candles are looking like. And it was looking good to run up, and now it's just pulling back. So we will watch that. And FedEx right here. Remember, that wasn't looking too bad, and they did have their dividend the other day and their earnings right here. That was today. I'm not sure what they look like. When was their dividend? Wasn't that? Oh, I think maybe their dividend was yesterday and their earnings were today. And it isn't doing too bad. FDX right here. Oh, maybe it did pull back in the after. What did that say? Oh, down $13. I didn't even notice that. Anyway, here we go. It did pull back in the after hours. So I guess their earnings weren't the best. So we'll definitely be watching FedEx tomorrow and UPS right here. That one, let's see what that's up to, because that looks pretty good right now. Let's see UPS, and it is at 101, 100 right there, trying to just set up. I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see if it's ready. It does look like it's trying to run up there. I don't know if it's going to get real crazy, but it does look like it's trying to move in the upward direction anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And how about AV right here? We've looked at this aerospace and defense one. As a matter of fact, we looked at it the other day, and I was telling the story about when I called the Trump assassination attempt, and we were talking about that. And if you watch the video, they all start with AV. We were talking about this one, and I just jumped right into it after that. So that was wild. Anyway, let's look at AV. And this is jumping around right there. And let's get a better look at it and see what it's doing. Took a nice little pullback, opened at 193, came down to 170, and now it's at 194, looking pretty good. So I'd say if you caught that dip right there, if you happen to be watching AV and liked it, that would have been a good dip opportunity, I must say. And they're them things that you have to keep an eye on sometimes in the daytime. Remember, hit right here. This was running up. I saw this today start moving up, and it could be a good hit. And look at that thing. That one's starting to cruise. And we did trade. Remember, I traded this one back. Was it around there? I forget when it was. I just remember it popped up there when I traded it. Could have even been up on this run up, I think. Anyway, it is running up, and HIT not looking bad for a big hit. And it is running up right now. So keep an eye on that one right there. And how about that OKLO? Let's see what that's doing. That's like a nuclear one, I think, something like that. OKLO. Yeah, that thing's getting set up, regulated electric, and this thing's trying to curl back up. Just watch for any pullback, and we'll keep an eye on that and see if we get any pullback on it. But that one should be getting set up. How about our OCGN not looking too bad today, hitting that? We knew it was running up there and it was going to be pulling back. It's hitting that support. That looks like a bottom yesterday, and it does look like it's going to try to curl up some more. So we'll keep an eye on it. It was running around today, 104 to 125, 124, and it's at 107 right there for OCGN. So we were definitely early on that bad boy. And IXHL, this one is trying to get set up. It's just not ready. At the moment, it looks much better, though. I have to say that. It looks better than the other day. It's up on the 20, trying to curl up. I'd say it may try to run up into this channel. I was thinking it was going to wait for this to come down and meet it, but maybe it tries to meet up here or even run up there and hit that resistance possibly. So I'll look at IXHL and see if that one really wants to run up there. It is trying to get set up, but you could possibly catch a little dip. And that QMCO, it looked like a good dip right there yesterday. They do have earnings coming up at the end of the month. And can you believe the end of the month is the next Monday, or this Monday coming up, obviously, because today is what, the 24th, Tuesday. So yeah, a week from yesterday was the end of the month. So July 4th is like right around the corner. Remember I said that a couple months ago, that it would be 4th of July, like that. And that's why I always look 3 months ahead for everything, because it happens so fast. We always know it does, and that's how I kind of stay ahead of the trends, because they move in 3 month increments. It seems like they always have, or quarters, 3 to 4 months. So that's what you look at, and then you can kind of gear what's going on. So yeah, you reevaluate when 4th of July comes up, and then you see what the rest of the summer into the beginning of the fall, and then you have your fall winter, bam, and then that's it. And then it's so crazy how fast the year can move. But anyway, let's crush the market for the second half of this year, because it's basically the second half coming up right now, and we're gonna have to destroy this market. And we certainly will. You guys know that. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And QMCO isn't looking bad. As a matter of fact, we'll go through and look at what the other ones look like. RGTI real quick. And that's not looking bad. That 20 might come down and scoop it up right there. These all could get set up. Well, this one's not too bad, and it could roll off. I'm just going to say, I bet all these could get set up in the next day or so. And this one, look at it, wants to roll off. We love when they look like that. Now, QBTS right here. Let's see what that's doing. And that's D-Wave Quantum, and it's been pulling back. That could possibly pull back some more. But that one did run pretty hefty up there. So I could expect that one to run back a little bit. QMCO we just looked at, and that Quantum Defiance Quantum ETF QTUM, that one looks good, up $2 and rolling back up. So let's see if it can do something as it hits that MACD and gets cruising, but it doesn't look too bad up there. And what else do we have? IONQ right there. Let's see, IONQ. And that one doesn't look too bad. It's trying to hit the MACD. And again, we'll see what happens as they approach it. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. That 20 could curl up with no problem right there and look good. ZSPC. So we'll look at that tomorrow. And this one finally looks good. I actually saw these today, so I'm kind of cheating, but I do look at most of them almost every day. But this one does look like it could be bottoming out right here. And we have been watching it and look at it trying to roll off that MACD to go up. So that one could be a great opportunity right there. So keep an eye on that ZSPC right there. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. And that's some quantum and computer hardware ones that we always look at. And if you want, we can take a look at our cat right here. And that one's not looking too bad. What's the lion up to? Our big cats, because remember, we looked at it right there and it was getting set up, and boom, it ran up really good. So if you caught that pop up, that was really nice. And that was the other day or last week, I believe it was, for the lion. And let's see what it wants to do. See that run up right there? We had that bad boy. And it is coming down. We'll have to take a look at it and see what it wants to do tomorrow. And the cheetah's up a little bit, and that doesn't look too bad. So we can keep an eye on the cheetah. And let's see what JAGX is doing. And JAGX is trying to get out of the basement as well. So keep an eye on them two big cats right there, the cheetah and JAGX. JAGX not looking bad. So there you go, JAGX and the cheetah CTNT. Keep an eye on both of them guys for tomorrow. They're looking pretty good, I must say. And here we go. Let's cruise right through the rest of this list that I made up. HSDT, and it is a short one. There's only a couple more left, but this thing's curling up, guys, and not looking bad. And I know we've been looking at that. So keep your eye on that HSDT as it gets to that MACD. I'll definitely be going over tomorrow. And PCSA, let's see what that's doing right here. Didn't look too bad right there. PCSA. Here we go. And that one ran up the other day, and it is trying to get a little set up. We'll have to watch that tomorrow, see if it can jump up over that 20 right there, over in the high 29 cent area. It's at the 28. So we will keep an eye on that PCSA and see if it can jump up, and it'll be a good opportunity there. And XBP right here. Let's take a look at that one. That one's actually starting to curl up. and that looks like a pretty good opportunity. And I believe this is the one that Stock Authority was we were talking about, and I don't know why I put an A there, but it's XBP right there. And yeah, that does not look bad. So keep an eye on that. Try to get up to that 50 right there and possibly get through it. XBP looking pretty good. And Genius Group, that one was looking pretty good today. It was running up and in the top. So keep an eye on GNS. And there you go, as it's running up there. So there you are for GNS, and see if it can bounce up a little higher tomorrow as it's in the top with that momentum right there. And TDTH, let's see what that one's doing. We looked at it last week or so, and it was trying to bottom out there. Let's see what it's doing over here. TDTH, and let's see. And this is trying to curl up a little bit. I'll keep an eye on that one tomorrow. It does look like it might have been trying to bottom out there, try to curl up in that spot. TDTH and HCTI. Didn't we look at that? No. I don't think so. No. HCTI, let's see it, because it did look pretty decent today. Like it wanted to run back up. HCTI. Hold on. Yeah, look at this thing. That looks like it bottomed out, has all these crazy looks, and I will be keeping my eyes on HCTI right here. I know it did run up for us before and then dip down, so let's see what that wants to do in that green lane right here. Let's see what they're up to. It was a little bit flat and just kind of moving around on that bottom line, and we'll have to get that curl up look before we want to jump into that. How about DNN? That's that uranium company, and we're looking at that, and that's setting up looking pretty good, so you can keep an eye on that. And that NCNA did pull back, but that one's starting to look a lot better right there, so let's keep an eye on NCNA right there. Look at that look. It's got the look like it wants to roll, so we got to keep an eye on that. And TRIB was up today, and like I mentioned earlier, saw this one cruising along, and it did not look bad, 62 to 103, but it is back at 68 right now. Did pull back in that after hour just a hair, but it was running around, and again hitting that MACD. Is it going to get through? It's in a pretty good spot right there, so we definitely want to keep an eye on it. And that NKTR, good old Nectar, was very sweet today. And there you go with your big caps and your Mag 7, and also a little list right there. So let's go through and see what you guys want to look at. We'll check it out. We'll see what crypto's up to, and we'll call it an early night. Maybe I'll get my voice back. And so here we go. Let's see what's happening here. Anything over here? I don't see anything, so let me just go through and see. Luis Rodriguez posted a bunch of them, so let's go through and see what he has on his list. AAON, I know we looked at that last night, and that is setting up, guys, so keep an eye on that bad boy. Look at that thing, AAON. Whoa, I gave it too many O's. AAON, and yeah, it is curling up right there, so, and it ran around today, 74.63. It came down to 71.55, and now it's up to 73.23, so, or 73.25, whatever. And so yeah, it's right there, and it is curling up. I think you will get that curl up in your run. You have some resistance up here, and you'll hit that MACD, but you should get a little run up there. And that POWL, good old PAL, was running up here, and that one did go PAL, and it does look like it might even make that hard curl up right there. Let's see what it looks like over here. It does look like it wants to make that hard curl up, so keep an eye on POWL and that Sky T. And we started talking about water last night, but the Sky T was up a little bit. I did check that one out. Over to 20, started running up. And another one, is it going to roll through? I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't, I mean, it has that look like it could come back down and get set up, or it could try to run through. So it's interesting for Sky T, but it did move up there today, and it is about to hit that MACD for you. So keep an eye on that. And ASML right here, let's see what it's doing, because that was running up pretty big. And Luis Rodriguez did mention that one last night, ASML. And there you go. That one is flying up. Earnings are coming up down the road in the middle of July, and this is going to the top right there. So I would keep an eye on that. And TDoc was Teladoc Health, and it was run up a little bit, and then it looked like it had pulled back, or at least tried to. So 837 to 842, and it closed at 8 right there. So we'll keep an eye on Teladoc, and let's see what that BKSY Black Sky technology. And we talked about this the other day, and it's in the top and looks like it could run up even higher right there for BKSY. So I'd keep an eye on that for some momentum, that's for sure. And let's see what BFH is doing. Bread Financials, that one did look like they had some bread the other day. It's up almost 2% right there. And Howard Hugh and Howard Hugh Holdings, and that one is getting set up right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. And how about that Lemonade right here? They're a insurance company, and it was running up there today. Maybe a little bit of healthy pullback. Let me see. LMND right here. Yeah, we'll have to look at that one tomorrow as it's run up, but that was a pretty good run up there. So that was that. And Howard Hughes we did. And let's see. Carnival Cruise, what's that one doing here? CCL. That was up today, and that's getting set up looking good right there. So we'll keep an eye on CCL. I like that look. So let's keep an eye on them. They look like they're about to cruise off. I know we were looking at that about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was getting set up. ENPH, Enphase Energy, and this was up today. And not all the energy ones were up today, but what am I doing? ENPH right there. And that one doesn't look bad. Another situation, I'm not so sure it will curl through, but it does look like it's trying to run up a little bit more. And Marvel right here, Marvell Technology, and that one does look pretty good to continue to run up. And you were looking at this. Well, we were looking at it for, I believe, Luis Rodriguez had mentioned it last night. So there you go on MRVL. And here we go with the rest of them. DXCM. Let's see what that one is up to here. DXCM. Wow, that one ran up pretty good. And another situation, it's hitting that resistance right there, and it's going to hit that MACD. I'm not so sure it's ready to get through. Maybe a little setup time, and we'll have to take a look. PLTR acquired 1 million shares of SRFM. Isn't that Sun? Oh, yeah, Surf Air Mobility. And let's see, that one flew up there. SFRM, right? Or SRFM, that's it. SRFM, Surf Air Mobility right there. And yeah, that's why that popped up there. You would have never saw that, but there you go. And announces 1 million purchase of company stock by co-founder too. And it's an airline, so good call on that. And that is Palantir acquired 1 million shares of SRFM and AIFU right here. AIFU. And that's an interesting stock ticker, AIFU. So here we go, AIFU. And that one is not looking bad right there. I must say it could continue to run up there and say AIFU to everybody. So there you go with that. And that's what it looks like right there. Lots of great setups today. I would say so too. As they start getting towards that top, they're still running up there pretty hard. Remember the sound held and pulled down. We had looked at it. It looks way better now. And this one actually may curl through. As a matter of fact, it's got the look like, see, that looks like it possibly could in the 20s. So I think that could possibly get over to 20. Good old Soundhound. And remember, we were watching it before. It had pulled back, and now it looks like it could roll. Defense stocks took it on the chin today on the heels of the ceasefire. HSDT, we did look at that. I think PRSO, we looked at that one as well, right? I don't know, Paraso or whatever. And let's see what that's doing. That's just a little bit of pullback there. Let's see. Over here, PRSO, it does look like it wants to pull back a little bit. And HSDT was not looking too bad here. Hold on, if I could type it in. My typing's bad, but HSDT not looking bad as it gets set up there. So keep an eye on HSDT right there. Yeah, that does not look bad. We'll look at it tomorrow, but that has potential right there to get cruising, guys. So I would definitely be keeping an eye on that one. And brutal heat and humidity today, like we were talking about. And made a picture of pool today, Bud and Sprite. There you go. And Luis Rodriguez made his 50-50 Bud and Sprite. That's awesome. And y'all using WAP, I assume. Yeah, we do use WAP, and again, I kind of joined in with Story Trade, and they already had it set up and doing great in there, and they had asked me to be a part of it, and I said, oh, that sounds good, and I had talked to them guys for a couple months, and then I had told you guys, I was getting the office set up and going to Vegas. And when I got back, we'd be ready to rock and roll. And yeah, so they used the WAP. And if you sign up on WAP, you just have to um, make both accounts like what did I say earlier? Whatever, combine the two accounts. No, but you know what I mean. Just make them connect to each other, and then all of a sudden it'll pop up there, and then it says to accept it on Discord or whatever, and boom, you push it and everything comes right up. It's a piece of cake. But so yeah, that's what we use. And again, Ben and Godfather, they've been tearing it up, and I am going to very much so start tearing it up in there and giving you guys great picks, great entries, exits, and watch. We're going to just destroy the market, and people are going to be growing accounts. And also, Ben's been growing account. He started with 18K in October, and I'm pretty sure he's pushing it close to probably 750 now. So it was over 700,000, and so now it's getting even higher up there. He's been doing pretty well, and they do have banger calls every single day. I promise you, I'm in there. I see them, and you guys know I just been kind of busy, and that's fine. I could take 2 weeks off of trading and be perfectly fine. I promise you that. And because when I get on and I'm in the right mindset, guys, and it's about to get on, we destroy the market. You'll see what happens. It gets wild, and we'll make accounts grow. And that's what we're looking to do. So yeah, Mr. Drawdown, they do use WAP, and then you do have to make the two accounts like whatever, your Discord and your WAP, and then it's a piece of cake. Like I said, I can even walk you through it. And Rhett is the guy that actually does like the behind the scenes and takes care of everything. He's awesome. So if any questions, I always hit up Rhett, and he gets it figured out immediately. So he's awesome. And yeah, also like I said, Ben and Godfather, great calls all the time. They're always in it. Ben does an amazing job in there. Obviously, it's his Discord, and he does an amazing job and puts a ton of time into it. And like I said, I'm going to be putting a lot more time into it now that I'm getting all set up and ready. So you guys knew I was getting set up and ready, and we're getting ready, guys. So it is going to be exciting, I can tell you that. And that SLN didn't look too bad last night, and he did say keep an eye on that silence, Luis Rodriguez. And there you go, it was not silence today. And how are you, Cadence? And finally got signed up, so there you go. And answering your questions anytime, Cadence. And anybody that has questions, Cadence will tell you. And everybody else, just hit me up on X. I check it all the time. Sometimes the stupid messages get not your messages are stupid, the messages get mixed into like these stupid spam messages, and folders are like three different folders now in X. It's ridiculous. I didn't make them up, but that's what ends up happening. So I got to constantly go through. But if I don't answer, you just shoot like something over what I'll answer back. And I try to go through it every single day now, knowing that like good messages end up into that spam folder. I have no idea how, because these messages are absolutely absurd messages. And then it's like a totally normal message, like, hey, just a quick question about, and I guess it just hits the algorithm and it sends it in there. I am not exactly sure, but any questions, feel free, ask me on X. Everybody knows I answer everything, and I answer everybody. So don't feel like you're bothering me, because you're definitely not. And I have a good time talking to everybody, and you guys know that because I talk back and forth and we have great conversations. So a lot of great people on here, a lot of great people in this community as well. And again, a lot of amazing people in that Discord, and they're on there. They're very active on there all day. Trust me on that. So, and again, I wanted to do that now because the social media has just been overtaken by spam, and you can't even see anything or do anything. And at least in there, you do have to pay, but guess what? You get to see everything that's good. You don't miss anything, and that's all you need to see. So it works out well, I think. And again, you get the value because you get Ben, Godfather, and then myself. So it's not just me. You get two other people that are just doing great in the Discord. And I've been doing it. Ben's been doing it for like over a year now. So the Discord, and again, he took from October, he took an account of 18K, and it's now over 700,000. So they're doing it for real in there. I promise you. I saw it before I decided I agreed to sign up with them. And like I said, I've been talking to the guys for about 2-3 months there. So that is that. And I thought it was a great fit. And I told you guys before they do great things. Ben does a great show in the morning as well. But that morning note, guys, that he puts out is great on that Discord. If anybody's on Discord, you guys know that morning note right there. If you watch the show and then see that morning note, you're pretty much set up right there between the two of us. You're good to go. So it works out perfect, I think. And I totally read the morning note. I enjoy it. And he definitely puts a lot of effort and time into it. It's definitely not done by AI, just like Laptop Travel always does that. His newsletter, he puts some time and effort into it, and it's not AI. And I believe Laptop Travel was still traveling around. That he was texting with earlier because he had couldn't get any service, as a matter of fact, and he had asked me what the market looked like. So he was flying around, and so I'm sure he's still in flight, but I believe he'll be landing for tomorrow. So safe travels to Laptop Travel. I'm telling you, that guy travels a lot. I wasn't kidding. He's flying all the time. I do talk to him often, and he's always flying. It's pretty amazing. I don't know how he does it, but he definitely enjoys it. So, how about that, Hume? That pullback right there, and then wait for it to set up. I think we might have called that one to the T right there, and that does look like it's getting ready to roll off there, Luis Rodriguez. So I bet you do like that one, because I said let that pull back and get set up, and I think that just did it in 2 days. And UNH is looking pretty good, guys. I must say, I did see this today. I'm glad you added that to the list. I meant to add it on there earlier, as a matter of fact, because UNH does look pretty good right there. Look at that thing. It looks like it wants to curl up. So keep your eye on that. And we did do the RGTI right here. We went through them, computer, hardware, and quantum ones, and that does not look too bad. We'll see what it wants to do in that light bridge right here. We'll look at that, and that was jumping up there. Remember, this was a big run up that Laptop Travel had given us. So there you go. That one's setting up, and that could get over to 20 and pull itself up over there. So that is an interesting one right there. That's for sure. Lightbridge. So definitely keep an eye on LTBR. I'm going to jot that down right there, LTBR, and I want to see that tomorrow. And yeah, I think we're just getting ready to. Obviously, it's been rocking and rolling, but we're really going to be focused on now on every single popper that comes in, the best ones like we had been before, and we'll be crushing them on that Discord. And you guys know at one point we were just picking out the best popper each night, and we were just nailing them like 100%ers galore. And again, if you just trade them smart, you don't even have to hit them at the tops. It doesn't even matter. You sell them early, you're perfectly fine. When you start compounding them wins over and over and over again, you'll watch your account grow fast, and you can start small and really grow it pretty quick. So you guys will see. So I am absolutely excited and just getting ready to rock and roll for that. And here we go. Let's see what else is going on over here. OKLO, we did look at that one, and it was setting up right there. It was up today and not looking bad. And let's see. Up there you go, trying to crawl back up. That HUBC is the Israeli cyber one, not the aerospace and defense, HUBC. And that one just a little flat today. That one could roll up there. I know what's Para Zero. What is that? PRZO. There you go. That was the aerospace and defense for Israel. And that is pulling back right there. Let me take a look at it because it doesn't look as well. Yeah, that's pulling back. Let's go through real fast and just pick out. I know they have like 5 of them, right? Let's just look real quick, or at least they did. Let's see. Here's one, MOB. And then there's 2 is PRZO. We just looked at it. And that's all they had was 3. It was TAT. They definitely had a couple more before. I remember there was like 3 or 4 of them, or maybe they had 3. There was like another one I think I remember. Anyway, here we go. MOB, that one's pulling back. You can see the resistance up there. And TATT, that one looks like it's about to run up there. So TAT Technologies, that does look pretty good. Let's look at that TATT. Oh, TATT. And there you go. That's not looking too bad. I mean, it's in that channel. It could run up. I don't know if it's going to get that crazy because it looks like it's going to take some time. But you can take a look at TATT tomorrow, and it could run up there. So yeah, they don't look that crazy right there for the aerospace and defense. Archer doesn't look bad though. We'll say that. And let's see real quick. I'll just cruise right down and see. Do 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 do. Let's see. They don't look that crazy to me. Yeah, they didn't really grab my. I mean, there's a couple good setups. That G Pulse could get set up. It's been beaten down, and we know that. But yeah, they don't look that crazy. I'll just look at the next page real quick and see. This is how I look at a sector real quick and see what's going to be good. That MNTS might be pretty good right there. Sometimes I move faster than the thing can get the charts up for me. Let's see. That one's not looking too bad. That looks like it's about to get moving right there. That one doesn't look too bad either. And XTIA right there. So nothing crazy, I must say. That Archer looks like it is setting up there. You can see that. That caught my attention real quick. ARCH or whatever. What is it? ACHR. That's what it is. And yeah, that looks pretty good right there. And this GPUS just grabbed my attention because it's way down. I don't think it's really ready, but it might be one to keep an eye on because we do like when they're beat down and it could curl up and you get that little run up on that, but you want to get rid of it. MNTS, this looks like it could get cruising right there. Momentous, we've looked at this before. MNTS right here, and that does not look bad for tomorrow, so we can keep an eye on that. I'm going to jot that one down for tomorrow, MNTS, and we'll see what that's doing. And let's see what Sky H is doing right here because that was trying to get set up. That looked like it bottomed out yesterday, and Sky H doesn't look bad right there. I don't know what they're up to, but Sky Harbor Corporation does look pretty good. You might want to keep an eye on that one too, because if that gets through that 20 right there, that could get cruising for Sky H. So I'm just going to jot that down and take a look at it, and we'll track them bad boys right there. But there you go with some aerospace and defense ones. And let's see what else is going on. Louis, he trading all 22 tickers. Luis Rodriguez catches the whole market. It's crazy. Weeble right here, and he does see some great poppers. I'm going to be honest with you. Weeble looks like it's going to be a great one right now. So that one could be popping. So I think Bull is about to get bullish. And so keep your eye on that. BULL. I think that's a pretty solid one right there. Let me X out of these guys right here. But yeah, Bull right there is looking pretty good, I must say. And let's see what else is going on. Not all. He said he has calls on SOUN and HUM and UNH and RGTI, and he owns others. So there you go. He's in and out, and he is in and out. I'll be adding that lemonade. If it pulls back to 38 and Iron Dome equals the HUBC. But yeah, the only thing is if they have a ceasefire there, that's when that one starts to pull back. It does look like it bottomed out there, so we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. You can see it's just kind of flat there with a little bit of pullback on that HUBC, Mr. Drawdown. So we'll keep an eye on that, and let's see what else is going on here. Let me see. Boom, boom. And let's see, nothing a whole lot over there. And let me see, did I get to everything over here? I think I did. Let's see what the markets are up to. And we'll call it an earlier night, like I said, and maybe my voice will fully come back. It's almost there. And feeling a little better. Like I said, I don't think I've ever lost my voice in my life. It's kind of crazy. And I can talk. So, yeah, it's interesting, but definitely coming back now. Give it a little rest and I'll be good. That humidity, I'm telling you, it was like hard to talk outside today. It's like, holy cow, I felt like it was just like just unbelievable. Tomorrow's supposed to be another rough one, and then I think it might cool off. I might actually go swimming after the show. Might go hit a couple golf balls and go swimming because it is crazy out there. Anyway, here we go. The Soxel's not looking bad. That's your semiconductor to get a little run in there. And this DNN, the green lane's a little flat right there. Intel is running up in that PSTV. We had taken a look at that one. And INM was running up the other day. NU, look at that one. That one's not looking bad. A bank one right there. Lucid's been just kind of hanging out. And we were looking at that VOR. And let's see, there's your SRFM. And this open door, I'm telling you, I went over this one on the small cap show with no voice, but this one's getting set up, guys. So let's keep an eye on that. You can see it. So I would say that opens right there. That one's good. And I think I mentioned open and DNN. And I'm telling you, I always give out some really good picks on that small cap show. I don't know how I do it, but for whatever reason, them ones always run. So listen to that small cap show and check out the ones I mentioned. AMD, I called that one early, and Ford right there has been running up. TSLZ is a Tesla one, and that Carnival Cruise is looking good. That NCNA is setting up, guys, and American Airlines not looking too bad right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on them. I flew home on them, American Airlines. It was a pretty good flight, not bad. It was way better. I took a Frontier flight out there. Holy cow, it's like the most basic thing ever. I guess it's like Spirit, and I had no idea, but it was the only flight going out at 7 a.m. And I'm glad I took it, because that morning, the minute after my flight, I guess there was all kinds of thunderstorms. All the flights after that were basically delayed, so everybody was delayed coming in. Some people hours, some people even a day, and it was kind of crazy because I left right on time, and then right after that, it seemed like everything delayed up. So I did take Frontier out there because it was the early flight, and it was nonstop, and I do like nonstop flights. And holy cow, it's just like a tube with some wings on it. I mean, the seats are completely uncomfortable. They don't even fold back. I had never flown them, and my buddy picked me up at 5 a.m. and was taking me. He goes, what do you dropped me off at the airport. He says to me, he says, who you flying out with? And I said, Frontier. He started laughing. He goes, oh, that's gonna be a fun flight. He's like, you're not used to that. I was like, why is it bad? He goes, dude, their seats are like hard as a rock. He was not kidding. My butt hurt so bad. I was like, Jesus God, this thing is like, so yeah, Frontier. But I'll tell you what, it wasn't a bad flight, so I can't complain. They just don't have like any entertainment. I don't even know if they give out food. I missed the food from American Airlines anyway, so I like slept on the whole way home. I was exhausted, and but yeah, Frontier was pretty basic airline. It was pretty cheap, I think. I don't even remember. But anyway, here's HIMS right here, and that's dipping down, and SMCI setting up there. And there's our Apple. I'm telling you, that's going to be getting set up. AMDL. That is your AMD long, and that is looking good. FXI, isn't that the China? Yeah, large cap one. Let's take a look. It looks like it wants to go up there, which usually means China and America are getting along at some point, and that looks like it wants to move. So interesting look right there, that's for sure, I must say. And Riot we looked at, so a bunch of ones. And what's BAC? Because that's Bank of America, and that looks like it might even be running up into the top. And let's see if there's anything over here real quick to take a look at. And that ONMD was running up, and TRIB I looked at, and YAAS was definitely running up. And look at all these new guys. Holy shit, what is up with all this stuff? These are all kinds of new ETFs and stuff. They look like they were all launched today for some crazy reason. And this one's not available because it's Nano Labs. I'm just kidding. It's NA. And it was running up today. I did see that running today. And GIBO, I think we looked at that last night. It looked like it was pulling back there. Good old Gibo or whatever it was. And I don't even know what I just clicked on or that. But anyway, let's see again. I was trying to go to the second page there to see if I saw anything else setting up. Let's just take a look. Here we go, WFF, and that is coming down. And yeah, I don't see anything that crazy. VSME, what was that just doing? Just grabbed my attention. That IBIO, we've been looking at that. And where was that one at? Holy cow, where did it even go? I just like scrolled through so fast I missed it. Where is it? VSME, here you go. It looks like it's trying to bounce back up right there. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I would take a look at that in the morning, guys. So there you go with that one. And let's see what crypto's up to this evening, and even our futures. Let's look at them. That's how they ended. And let's just look at the VIX. That's what I wanted to see anyway. And let's see what's happening. And that VIX is pulling back there, and looks like it's going to be dipping down. So we'll off of there and just have one of them quick run ups. But Again, not looking like anything too crazy. And Bitcoin's back at 106, guys, and Solana's 146. Ethereum's what, 24 or something? I just missed it, but I'll tell you in 1 second. It'll come back up in a second, and I'll just bring them up over there. You guys can check it out. But 2,461, and Ripple's at 219. Cardano is at 50 something cents right there. So there you go, 58 cents, and that's what they look like. And let's see what's happening here. And crypto, I'm telling you, is getting ready to get crazy, guys. I promise you that. It is getting set up to get wild. You can just see it ready to take a big leap. And then hopefully the ETF does too. I already know it's at like 2.4. I think that is obviously the very bottom right there. And these things look like they're getting set up to rock and roll. So keep an eye on crypto, guys, because I can tell you right now, it looks pretty good. And the last time I said that, it definitely got cruising, that's for sure. And I'm just going to tell you what the ETF is at. And again, I think it just bottomed out right there, and it could be pretty good. So we'll see what's up. Hold on, let me bring it up right here. And I just have to go in. Whoop, what the heck did I just do? Give me 1 second and I'll pull it up. And it is at 2.3. And like I said, I do think that bottomed out. It does look like it yesterday. That little dip down was at bottom, and these things are going to start moving, guys. So check that out, because I think you are going to get some movement there. And as a matter of fact, even that Trump coin is at like 928, and that FAR coin was just at 70 something cents the other day. Under 80 cents, in the 80s, and took a big old dip, I think, and around 79, and it came right back up to 104. It's just starting to set up. So some of these bad boys have tipped down pretty well and are trying to set back up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, that's for sure, and see what's going on. So I'll keep you posted on that as well. So there you go with them. And let's see what else is going on here. Let me see if I missed anything. All right, I think we pretty much got to all of it. Let me see, and let's look at the UVXY right here, because that is big dipping right there, and we'll see if it's going to roll back around, but it does have some resistance now. So that is your VIX short, and it does look like it's coming down. So if the market was not popping, this would be going up. So that does look like it's pulling back right there. Let me see anything else right here. And boom, boom, boom. Michael Anthony is at a list under Finviz. No, Finviz actually was just commenting, and I didn't post a list this evening. I haven't posted one all week, actually, Michael Anthony. Haven't seen you on this week, but I lost my voice while I was in Vegas last week, and then I came back Sunday night. We did the show, but I really didn't have a voice. I'm just starting to get it back today, so we've just been kind of kicking it freestyle, I'll say. And I was telling some stories the last 2 nights, but I'm not going to tell many stories tonight. I was just going to do some stocks, and then we'll wrap it up, because my voice is starting to come back. So I wanted to rest it up so I can get it back fully, and we can really cruise along with my voice. And then I'll get my the shed office all wrapped up there for tomorrow, and we're good to go, guys. We're ready to rock and roll. And GLXG, let's see, and which list of stocks is that list under? Oh, well, Finviz, what you want to see over here? Oh, they have all kinds of stuff over here. I used to I go through these all the time. They have the trend line supports, the resistance, the horizontal, the wedge up, the wedge down, your triangles ascending and descending, your channel ups, channel down, your regular channel across, double tops, and your multiple tops, double bottoms, multiple bottoms, and head and shoulders, which I don't really fully understand that, but yeah, I've looked at them all the time. So they are all good ones right there to take a look at. And again, they pop up at different times, but you can see how some of them will start popping up. So yeah, Finviz is a great tool. I've talked about it before. I do have the Elite. I pay for it, but you can look at all this stuff with the regular free Finviz. And Wolf had posted something about what is a good free site, and I had said I was a fan of Finviz, and then Wolf had mentioned he was a fan of Finviz, and then they said that they were fans of Wolf. So there you go. And Finviz has been very active on here. I think they started really using social media, and I think it was a good idea because they obviously started to change things around on the platform. I was asking them to do the 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., which they started to do, and I keep forgetting to ask them what's up with the after hours. So I'll have to shoot them over an email and ask them if that's going along. But they also changed a couple other things. I know I saw today on my phone. I usually X out of them on here because the messages pop up. But they did do something different, and they did something different the other day as well. So they've been adding different features the last few weeks here. So they really cranked it up, I'd say. And they're really trying to step it up to another level. And then they stepped up their social media game on X, I must say, because they started to actually post a lot more and be interactive. And I think it was a great idea because, like I said, you guys know I love Finviz and my Trend Spider right here. And with the two of them, they're completely sharp tools and they work well. And we can see the markets. And again, I'll bring back the old my scanners again. I don't even know how I X'd out of them, but I'll get them back up. We'll start using them again and start really getting through the show and doing some fun stuff again. So took a little, I won't say break. We were doing the show and all, but I was trying to get that shed office done so that we can really get crazy here, and we're about to get really crazy. So there you go. That is our Finviz report for this evening. And GLXG, Mr. Drawdown, let's see what that's up to. Galaxy payroll, let's see if it wants to go out to the, I mean, that's a nice dip right there and a nice bottom. I would say that's a good look right there, Mr. Drawdown. GLXG, yeah, I would say that's looking pretty healthy. I would have to look at that. I'll write it down for tomorrow. We can look at it in the morning. GLXG right there, not bad. And Michael Anthony, we did look at Soundhound already. Luis Rodriguez was asking about this, and it's not looking bad. It did have that pullback. It was trying to get set up there, and then it pulled back, but you are getting that roll up. It's just a matter of will it get through that MACD, and it looks like it's going to try. It's tried to numerous times. It was up and down. It didn't really try there, but it's trying to curl up, and now they're finally making it there. So if it doesn't make it, it's going to end up probably down here at like 833, but it does look like it's trying to run up into this channel here. I'm not so sure it'll get through that yet, but you got that setup happening. So Soundhound not looking bad. And what is ACI is that Albertson's company, and that was running up right there. A little healthy pullback is what it looks like to me on ACI. And yeah, it just looks like a little healthy pullback today. And it just needs to get back over that 22 area, and you'll be pretty good right there. And there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty decent market review. And I'm going to wrap it up so I can save my voice and be good for the next few days there and be back to normal. Clove has 160 million of cash and no debt. That's pretty impressive, Clover Health. And let's see. And that is getting set up, guys. I would watch for this to pull back a little bit. But yeah, good call on that one, Michael Anthony. CLOV. That is going to get set up. Watch for it to run back up into that $3 area for good old CLOV right there. And that one will run. And so, yeah, that one will be pretty good, Clover Health. And they partner with Cure to create an AI HR platform. So there you go, something like that. According to Mr. Drawdown right here. And CURR is one of them shell companies that we were looking at. And there you go. Currency Galaxy Payroll group partner to develop AI-powered HR solutions today. So there you go with them. And both of them looking pretty good. So good call on that right there on the two of you. So I like it. So yeah, there you go. Galaxy Payroll and the good old CURR. So yeah, not too bad right there. And that's that Galaxy we were just looking at, and didn't look too bad. So they're gonna have the same exact news. So there you go with that. And I think that is a pretty good market review. We usually do a little longer. We got through our crypto. I'm telling you, crypto is setting up, guys. It's looking really good to get cruising. And the market still doesn't look bad up here. So even when it hits the all-time highs at 610, which is probably going to do tomorrow, we're definitely going to be reevaluating it. So I'm going to have all eyes on it. and be really watching it, because we really did think it was getting up here, and here it is. I mean, even TSM hit the spot I was saying, so everything's hitting them. It just took a little bit longer because we had some pullback, we had a little conflict, we had some stuff going on. You know, it was a lot of fun going on in the world, and the things were pulling back, but they have never stopped, and that's why I'm saying there is no argument to pull the rates down. It's just ridiculous at this point. Anyway, that's what the market looks like. Apple was down a little bit, Tesla too, and we'll see what's happening in the morning. So I will be on at 7 a.m. to do the pre-market, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting day there tomorrow. So we will absolutely be checking it out. That's what our futures look like. Let me just look on Yahoo real quick before we end. I'll jump on the Yahoo app because their futures are pretty up to date right there. And let's see. Looks like the futures are down just a hair, nothing crazy. Looks like 0.07 for the S&P, the Dow 0.04, and the NASDAQ like 0.06%. So nothing real crazy right there. And it's still 91 degrees outside. You're not kidding, Mr. Drawdown. I don't know where you're at, but yeah, I'll tell you, it's 90. Feels like 93 at my house right now is what it says. But with the humidity, I'm telling you, it's even hotter than that. It's like crazy, guys. So yeah, I might go have a dip in the pool and go hit a couple golf balls out in the heat. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty good market review right there, and we'll definitely be covering the pre-market tomorrow, see what's going on. And I do think it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, but I think it might be a good one. So we might be really blasting off here, which is pretty impressive after we just had a conflict and everything else. So we'll get back to picking all the 100%ers and now and everything, and really locking in profits and making accounts grow, because that's what we're going to do. And so there you are. And what list was AAL, American Airlines, right there? I didn't even make a list. I was just kind of going through. I don't even remember what I was looking at, to be honest. Oh, you know what I was looking at? I think it might have been here on your unusual volume right there, Mr. Michael Anthony, when that saw that AAL there. I think we might have been in there. I don't really remember, but that does look pretty good as well. So there you go. And oh, Mr. Drawdowns in South Carolina. I do remember you saying that yesterday. And yeah, it's super humid there and hot as well. So you know how it feels. So there you go. Anyone on this East Coast around here, you guys we're getting crushed with heat and humidity. I'd gladly take 110 back in Vegas any day of the week, guys. I'd love it. It would be perfect. So that's how bad the humidity is around here. It's that bad. I'm not even kidding. You can't even breathe. Anyway, that is our market review for this evening. Thanks again for everybody hanging out, and all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and hopefully tomorrow I hopefully have my voice back, and that would be pretty cool. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys at 7 a.m. for pre-market. If you guys want to see anything, let me know in the morning. I live in New Jersey. I'm right outside of Philadelphia, like 10 minutes outside of Philadelphia. So I live in South Jersey, and yeah, it's pretty wild around here right now. I'm not gonna lie. So, and there you go, everybody. So enjoy your evening, the rest of your evening. Have a good night, and I will see you guys at 7 a.m.